Hello everyone. My name is Justin, and today I'll be talking about the art of embracing vulnerability. But first, what is vulnerability? To many people, vulnerability might mean defenselessness, weaknesses, fragility. The list goes on and on. But vulnerability isn't just some dull concept you learn about in class. It's in everything we do, and it's a special ingredient in life. From sharing secrets with friends to tackling tough challenges in life. So, actually, I used to think sharing your vulnerability was like wearing a kick me sign on the back until I stumbled upon Brene Brown. And she flipped the script. She showed me that being vulnerable was instead a strength of expression and could foster growth and connections with others. But how? So I've had these moments in the dinner table where I shared with my family about my own weaknesses and vulnerabilities. I was expecting judgment, but instead, to my shock, I found a whole lot of love, understanding, and most importantly, empathy. And guess what? Our family table, because I shared my vulnerability, I realized that our family dinner table turned into a safe space where everyone is comfortable. But vulnerability isn't just for heart to hearts with family or friends. It's also a big game changer in the huge leagues too. And guess what? I've seen many great leaders share their mistakes and uncertainties, creating this vibe where everyone feels safe to be themselves and take risks. So in this graph, you can see that people who embrace their own vulnerability have to thrust in trust, empathy, closeness, and support. Another psychological benefit is they have a huge increase in resilience and easier to handle life challenges. Also, they have a decrease in anxiety, stress, depression, everything of that. Of course, vulnerability may feel like standing on the edge of a cliff, but if we learn to embrace our own fears, we could learn that vulnerability is instead a key to success that can make our growth bigger and make our experiences worth it. But first, let me share you something. So there's this Japanese art style called Kitsukuroi. And guess what? Picture this. A broken vase, all shattered and sad. But instead of tossing it out, and no one would care about if they toss it out, they glue it back together, piece by piece, with gold, real gold. And suddenly this plain old vase turned into this beautiful, unique masterpiece. Let me share you a personal story that illustrates this concept. So it was 2019 and I was about to dive into my first piano competition. And guess what? I was nervous. I was crumbling down in fear until I became more nervous because I was surrounded by people seemingly more talented than me. But then a child around my age sat next to me. And to my shock, he shared his own vulnerabilities with me. He shared to me that he was in fear. He was vulnerable. He was nervous the same as me. He was afraid. He was embarrassed when he went up stage. But guess what? When he shared his own vulnerabilities, he inspired me to share my own vulnerabilities too. I shared I was scared, nervous, everything, in fear. And guess what? It's okay to be scared, he assured me. Just focus on the joy of playing. And suddenly, the stage felt less daunting than ever, and I gave a performance that surpassed my wildest expectations. And I clinched on first prize. I would say we're all like these Kitsikuroids. We have our own flaws, own shattered parts. But if we let others patch us up with their affection, empathy, all of that, we can turn that into a golden opportunity. We could turn it into that Kitsukuroi. We could become perfect. We can become masterpiece. We can become unique. So vulnerability is your strength, and learn to embrace it and keep it real whenever you go. Together, we can make the world a place where vulnerability is not just accepted, but celebrated as a bold act of self expression. Remember, vulnerability are your superpowers, and that you could turn your art of vulnerability into your own masterpiece. I'm Justin Jacob Drew. Thank you for listening to my speech.